But so we have very short time. I just want to ask you, what are the main challenges ahead from now on, the next few years?
Well, Afghanistan will have challenges, more than any other country, of course, because of the circumstances of our past. We'll continue to be a poor country. We'll continue to be a country struggling to make it better. We'll continue to have shortages of human capital capacity. We'll continue to have incidents of insecurity. In short, we'll have all the challenges of a growing, constitutional order.
But you're a country which has been in war 3 decades now for the last
3
7
decades.
years. The international community has been there. So I mean, I'm just curious to know that election is around the corner. The international troops are withdrawing. This is a very, very crucial time for Afghanistan. So what is the main obstacles from your point of view?
The main obstacle will be continued terrorism coming from across the border from Pakistan, the bomb blasts and the lack of security for the Afghan people. If we implement the peace process sooner rather than later, things will be a lot easier for us. But as we continue to grow into a better country, we will have to go through all the pains of growing in all aspects of life. So life will not be easy, but life will be making progress as it has been making progress in the past.
But how is it going with the peace process? There hasn't been that many,
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. We have been having individual contacts with the Taliban in Afghanistan, beyond Afghanistan, where it should give us results is where Pakistan gets involved. And that's what we are trying to do.
But Taliban hasn't been weakened or disappeared from this world or from Afghanistan in the last decade. So how can you assure the international community that Afghanistan will be a stable place? Taliban is still there, the insecurity is still there, the insurgency, the fight is still going on.
Well, we have made a lot of progress there. We have an army now, we have a police force now, we have a civil service now, we have an economy now, we have millions of children in school now, we have hundreds of thousands of women working in our administration, in the parliament, so life is different. The Taliban have been weakened. Definitely with regard to the overall growth of society, we are a different country today. Facing challenges from the Taliban, yes, but they would not be a threat to the Afghan government or to the progress that Afghanistan is making. What we are trying to do is to remove the remaining challenge to Afghanistan by conducting a peace process with the Taliban. And I hope we can do that. Eventually it will be done.
Are you confident you will be making a peace process with the Taliban?
We have to do it.
Yeah.
There is no option there.
Is that the only way forward?
That's
peace
the
process with Taliban?
We will make progress with or without a peace process with the Taliban. The country will make progress. Education will grow. Universities will grow as they have grown. The health system will grow as it has grown. The economy will grow as it has grown. Construction and reconstruction development will grow as it has grown. But with all of that moving forward, we also need to bring peace to this country by any means possible, so we can have the picture completed for the Afghan people in all aspects of life without the hesitance of incidents of insecurity that we face along.
There has been an increase in civilian casualties in the first 3 months of this year. If you compare with last year, according to UN. Anyway, the last many years has been, increased civilian casualties. Do you believe that is become such a big problem that it shows that the international troops have become part of the problem in Afghanistan? I mean, I know that in Afghanistan, every time often when there are civilian casualties, you are expressing your,
strongly.
So do you feel that the international troops have become part of the problem in Afghanistan?
Well, the war on terror has not been conducted properly. And that has been my criticism, and the right one. They could have concentrated on the sanctuaries, on the training grounds, on the motivational factors beyond the Afghan borders, mainly in Pakistan. That didn't happen. The international community did not do that. They rather fought in Afghan villages, where there wasn't to be the war on terror found in the first place. So that concentration and focus on Afghan villages was wrong, is wrong, and that's what I've wanted to end. Luckily, it is ending because the transition is taking place.
So the international community has failed in Afghanistan?
It has definitely not succeeded in bringing security to Afghanistan to the extent that they should have, that they proclaimed to have
And the main
desired.
objective with the international troops being in Afghanistan is to get rid of Al-Qaeda and Taliban.
Exactly.
And have they achieved that 11 years on?
Al-Qaeda is not there in Afghanistan. The Taliban are mainly gaining support from Pakistan. What the international community has done to Afghanistan is to bring us better education, better roads, better economy, institutional structures and all that. But the war on terror is something on which we have a lot of reservations and questions.
So are you worried that there could be like step backs, you know?
No, we will be doing fine, we'll be doing well, we'll grow further, we'll move forward,
How can
we'll
you
be a good
assure me
country.
that? When I speak to many Afghan normal people, they are very, very worried about the future. How can you assure me as the president of Afghanistan
No, they're not worried.
that will be
They're not worried. There was a recent survey done by, I don't know who,
Asia?
Democracy International, that showed the Afghan people moving forward. That's good. There's a lot of difference in perceptions in the West and the Western media and the reality in Afghanistan.
I think you're a very optimistic person.
That's good.
I think you have to be in your job.
That's good. That's good.
Another thing I just want to touch upon is like one of the things you discussed with my prime minister as well is like that the international community has some demands to Afghanistan in order to continue the support to you beyond 2014. And some of the demands are like good governance, women's rights, democracy, and those kind of things. How can you assure the Danish people that is going to happen when that hasn't really happened the last decade?
It has happened in ways. We are a lot better a government today than we were 10 years ago. We have an administration today, we have a police force today, we have an army today, we have a judicial system working today, we have all the aspects. We have a transparency, we have a spotlight on the government by the media today, we have a civil society active today. All of that's there. But have we completed the journey? No. Do we have a long way forward? Yes. Like every other society, we have to take our time to maturity.
So maybe the West is expecting too much in very little time.
No,
Maybe
I think
that's-
the West knows what it is. It's either misplaced or intentions, whatever they are. They know what's going on. So it will take us time like any other society. We are also a human body.
Of course.
So we have to grow as human nature allows to grow, the speed of it and the extent of it.
Corruption is one of the main issues and
Very
the
much.
biggest issue that the Western leaders always highlight and accuse your government of corruption. There's been a recent report about the CIA giving money and all that. I mean, what
But
is
that's
your
not
comment about
corruption. CIA money, giving money is not corruption, it's support. And that support is used very effectively by various departments that receive that support. That's one good aspect of their contribution to us.
But is there no corruption?
That
in your
I'm
government?
personally happy about it. Corruption is there, sure, in other areas, in the dispensation of international contracts, especially the U.S. contracts, in the manner services are delivered in Afghanistan by the government, and corruption applies there too. So there is corruption both in the Afghan government and in the manner the international assistance, especially the U.S. assistance, is delivered to Afghanistan. But that's something that we have there, and we are working to correct it. And there is more recognition now, both in the U.S. government and in the Afghan government and in other quarters, on how to improve that. So I hope there will be an improvement for it as
I
we
just have a last question. We've lost 43 soldiers in Afghanistan. They've been in Helmand province. What have we achieved? What has Denmark achieved by losing 43 soldiers, valuable lives in your country to help your country?
We are aware of that sacrifice, and we appreciate the contribution of Denmark to Afghanistan, both in terms of treasure and sacrifices of young men and women in Afghanistan. the Danish help to Afghanistan has gone a long way in providing a better life to the Afghan people. It is recognized, in particular, in the areas of education, of rural development, and of bringing to us an improved standard of administration, for which we are grateful to the Danish people. And
but has the sacrifice been worth it?
For the Danish people and for the world's security, to the extent that it has brought that security, yes, why not? Absolutely. We are a human body, all of us together in this world. There was a threat in Afghanistan from terrorism, partly because of neglect of the past, and that reached all the way to the United States, and then an action to correct it. So we have all sacrificed in that. Denmark has had its own share. Afghanistan had its own huge share, and so did other countries.
So now, after 2014, why should the international community keep supporting?
We should keep supporting for the sake of the international community, for the sake of the world peace and security, and for the sake of continuity of a system that they began in Afghanistan.